President Aquino today called for expanded cooperation between government and the private sector in the fight against corruption. The president issued the call in his speech before participants in the Integrity Summit held in Makati City. The president stressed that through good governance, the country's economic growth has become one of the fastest in Asia. More of this report from Rocky Ignacio.
President Aquino assures more government measures to sustain economic growth, fiscal stability, and protection of public funds. At the Integrity Summit held in Makati City, the President announces the enactment of Tax Incentives Management and Transparency Act, the new law that aims to enhance fiscal accountability and transparency in the country.
Yesterday, I also signed the Tax Incentives Management and Transparency Act, which will establish a more strategic and deliberate system through which government can offer tax incentives and focus on critical growth areas. These laws passed by our partners in Congress, among many others, will certainly help foster an environment conducive to growth long after I step down from office.
The Integrity Summit is composed of business leaders, anti-corruption and good governance experts, key representatives from the government, church, youth, and academe. According to the President, the straight path of governance has resulted positive gains, such as good economics.
This is indeed very good news to me. Over the course of my term, our administration can attest to the effectiveness of our partnership, and we have proven time and again that good governance is indeed good economics. You don't even have to take my word for it, after all. One of the distinguished members of our audience today, Mr. Peter Perfecto, spoke about the transformation of the Philippine economy along the straight path during my last State of the Nation address. I remember him mentioning how our net foreign direct investments reached $6.2 billion last year, which was our all-time high. He talked about our country's rise in the World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Index, where at the time we went from 85th in 2010 to 52nd in 2014, with that particular organization crediting our anti-corruption agenda. Let me share even better news. We have once again moved up those rankings to 47th place in the 2015 report, marking a 38th place jump since our administration took office. Mr. Perfecto already gave quite a comprehensive list, but the truth is there are even more reasons to be optimistic on the economic front. In the past 5 years, our economy's growth rate has clocked in at 6.2%, our fastest in nearly 4 decades, and one of the fastest in Asia.
The summit, with its theme Making Integrity Everyone's Business, aims to continue to highlight the progress of the private sector in promoting ethical standards in business. Apart from impressive economic performance, the President assured government assistance to help 4.4 million poor families through conditional cash transfer or CCT.
These improvements in our economy, however, are only meaningful if they are felt by all, which is why we have channeled our resources into massive investments in our greatest resource, which is the Filipino people. You may know of our conditional cash transfer program, which provides cash grants to the poorest of the poor, as long as they send their children to school and have them vaccinated, amongst other conditions. During our term, we have grown this program almost sixfold, going from around 780,000 household beneficiaries to 4.4 million, or roughly equivalent to 22 million Filipinos. At this point, even with the study still ongoing, the DSWD reports that 1.4 million Filipino households have already been raised above the poverty line. Aside from the CCT, another major step we have taken in terms of inclusive growth is the expansion of PhilHealth, which now allows the poorest 40% of our population to simply enter any government hospital and receive free treatment.
The summit also builds on the momentum from previous gatherings and coincides with the celebration of the International Anti-Corruption Day, or Integrity Transparency Week. The President encourages private sector to continue coordinating with government to attain a conducive investment climate in the country.
There is no doubt when government and private sector can engage each other in a positive manner, great things can and will happen. It is in these success stories where we find the importance of summits like this. We need to make the most of the opportunity to talk to one another and expand the horizons of our cooperation. We need to speak and listen to one another to see what we can do better and to craft even bolder plans for the future. This year, I am particularly drawn to the theme of your gathering, investing in integrity. It certainly is accurate to call it an investment. After all, there is always the temptation to pursue the short-sighted benefits of the unethical and the corrupt. But all of us here know that will only have your companies vying to be the big fish in the increasingly smaller pond. Whereas when we invest in integrity, when we create systems where the hardworking and the innovative are justly rewarded, and when we acknowledge that integrity, along with the inclusivity, is a pillar of any working society, then the pond itself grows and all of us can enjoy greater prosperity.
For the People's Television, Rocky Ignacio.